Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the Militant Negro Network on YouTube. I am the Militant Negro. Thank you for coming in to visit. A little bit about these videos. They will be informative. They will be about current events and issues that affect me personally and spiritually. There will be some entertainment value, but mostly these videos will be about knowledge, information, which leads to power and freedom. I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you can learn something from the videos. And if you laugh and chuckle along the way, that's great. Again, I am the Militant Negro. Welcome. Your video will start momentarily. Namaste. Earlier this week, there was an attack in Syria, and chemical weapons were used. Some people are calling it gas. And what makes this unacceptable, what makes this ghastly and horrific and horrendous, the fact that this gas, this chemical weapon was used on civilians. Even if it were used on soldiers, that would be unacceptable. But to use a chemical weapon attack on citizens, civilians, unarmed human beings, women, children, men, this is unthinkable, ever. If you think about this, if there were no profit in war, specifically if the United States of America and its gun manufacturers, the corporations that make weapons, if they got no profit from war, there would be not one single war any place on this globe. If United States merchants of death and their corporate board of directors were not pulling in multi-billion, with a capital B, dollars in profits monthly from the sale and manufacture of weapons used specifically and expressly for waging war worldwide, if they didn't make a profit from this, there would be no war, no conflict, no situations worldwide. Somewhere right now in America, the United States of America, are some fat cat Caucasian assholes sitting around a conference table smiling and happy because their stock prices are soaring, because their bottom line grows exponentially by the minute, based on the armed conflict and war being waged all around the world. Chemical weapons, gas, biological weapons, all these things are manufactured in the United States. Now, the United States is not the only nation manufacturing weapons of death, but they are the major player. And yet and still, nobody, no nation, no country, no entity, no human being is doing anything to stop this. There is no reason whatsoever that women, men, and children, civilians, and let me stress this a little bit more for you, not soldiers, not rebels, not freedom fighters, plain old civilians, citizens like you and I, can be sitting in their homes and apartments or walking the streets in Syria one minute, and the next minute they have been bombed, bombarded, attacked, assaulted with a chemical weapon. Now, you all can sit in your homes and your double wides and your condos and your split level ranch homes and your walk ups, and you can't understand how this affects a human life. You don't get it unless you've ever actually been in combat and seen the effects of a bomb exploding. Let me paint a picture for you, okay? Limbs, arms, hands, legs, feet, torsos, heads even, scattered all over the ground, all around you. Mix into that picture personal belongings, teddy bears, baby booties, blankets, clothing from a woman or a man, kitchen utensils, shoes, all these items scattered all over the ground, in trees, if there are any trees left standing, from a bomb exploding. In Yemen and Syria and Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Beirut, all throughout the Middle East. These situations happen on a daily basis because first Obama, then Donald Trump are dropping bombs on these innocent civilians. Drone strikes. A drone doesn't care who it kills. It doesn't watch what person gets gunned down. Whether you're carrying a rifle or a baby in your arms, a drone does not give a fuck. It hits a specified target. Specifically, specified targets are sent out. Drones go everywhere, anywhere. Doesn't matter who's in the vicinity. Chemical weapons don't know who to attack and who not to attack. A chemical weapon is not intelligent. It doesn't look at a child and say we won't attack that child. It doesn't look at a woman in a marketplace and say she's not an armed combatant. It doesn't care. I'm not going into the specifics of who dropped these chemical weapons, who's responsible, who's not responsible. That doesn't fucking matter. You want to know what matters, people? Is that this kind of shit is going on, and it has been going on, and it will continue to go on. Because nobody gives a shit. The United Nations, they are useless. All these different factions saying he did it. No, he did it. No, he's responsible. We know who's responsible. If the United States of America stops making weapons, stops manufacturing mass destruction weapons, guns, automatic weapons, armaments, bombs, munitions, if the US of A stops this $1 billion per day business, people will live. Lives will not be snuffed out by a fucking bomb operated by a coward thousands of miles away. War is unnecessary. It's ugly, it's nasty, it's evil, and it's perpetrated on a daily basis, minute by minute, throughout the Middle East. And nobody is doing anything to stop it. Think about this for 1 second. What if you lived in a war zone and didn't have the ability or the choice or the option to leave? How would you feel if your children, your spouse, were murdered by a bomb dropped on your place of residence? How would you deal with that? How would you recover from that? Wouldn't the first thing you think of is, why is the world allowing this to happen to me? Nobody cares. Because if human beings cared about war, the destruction of war, the taking of lives from a war, if human beings cared about that one little tiny bit, they would stop it. You don't know how to stop war? Think about what you would do if your family were in danger of being bombed, and the next door neighbor's family was in danger of being bombed. Unity is the answer, people. Unity. Umoja. You can't do a fucking thing as a single individual. But if you get together, if we all get together and do something, and I'm not talking about marching and protesting and writing letters and signing petitions, because let's be honest, what in the holy hell has that accomplished for the last 2 centuries? We, all of us, must band together and stop this insistence on war being profitable for corporations. Everybody speaks and hollers and screams and shouts about the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. I'm going to have my guns and I'm going to use them because it's my constitutional right. Hey, fuckhead, learn what the Second Amendment is really all about. Understand, comprehend why our great white forefathers drafted the Second Amendment. Research it, learn its history, understand what it's for, why it's there. Doesn't have shit to do with you having an AK-47, you stupid fuck. And let's be honest, what good is your AK-47 going to do against a drone? Or a fucking bomb launched from 5 miles up in the sky at your house? What is the AK going to do there? I'm sick and tired of war. I'm sick and tired of politicians who don't fight the wars, but make the wars. Politicians who vote for bills to fund the wars. I'd like to see Donald fucking Trump's stupid ass on the front line in Syria with a helmet and a gun in his hand. Or his daughter. Or his son. If a politician votes yay on a bill to fund a war, his ass, her ass, need to be shipped immediately to the front lines of that war. You cannot allow, I cannot allow, we cannot allow children, women, men, civilians to be gassed with chemical weapons. We can't allow women, men, and children, civilians, to be murdered, executed in a war zone. America and the world sucks ass. Because every single human being that we allow to die in a war zone, it's on us. Soldiers sign up for this shit, okay? Police officers, law enforcement officials, they sign up for this shit. Human beings, civilians, everyday people like you and me, we don't sign up to die in our beds in a war zone or be shot down in the street because of our skin color. I'm sick of it. You ought to be sick of it. Syria was not the first place a chemical weapon has been used in recent history. It won't be the last, but it should be. It could be. But it won't be because we just don't give a shit. Syria, 72 people so far dead because of a chemical weapon being used against not soldiers, not rebels, not insurgents, human beings, civilians, everyday people like you and I. So ask yourself this question. Who you gonna call when that motherfucking bomb drops on your house? Because if it can happen to them, if it can happen to anywhere in the Middle East, damn sure believe it can happen in the United States of America. Then what? I'm out of here. Namaste. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you like the Militant Negro YouTube Network, then subscribe. Namaste.